Anna a day. Wash the hands and gargle them out before sitting down to eat.
Imagine this. You're putting together a 7-color meal, from the creamy pasta to the glazed carrots and flavorful onion gravy. This entire meal is made with our 100% pure extra virgin olive oil from our La Familia range, bringing outstanding quality and taste to your kitchen. Shop La Familia 100% pure extra virgin olive oil at any leading supermarkets near you. La Familia, heart of the home.
The views and opinions expressed by the presenters and guests of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
Into the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Feely.
It's finally Friday again. Assalamu alaikum.
From South Africa to the world.
Let's go.
Miss out on Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on and leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests. Topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Let's make the end of the week better together. Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Feely. Young, fresh and trending. This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Feely, only on your #1 radio station.
Do I have a show for you today, or do I have a show for you today? Sanbonani nonke, ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban bikum. It's finally Friday again, and I always say that I love my Friday afternoons because I get to spend it with you. It's gone by exactly 12 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock, and it is the Feel Good Friday, and I'm your host, Bibi Amina Feely. Of course, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Of course, Jummah Mubarak to you and yours as we say goodbye to the working week and welcome the weekend. Of course, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. And if you don't have the app by now, you are missing out on all of the good stuff. Of course, you can check us out live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And if you missed any episodes, of course, you found amazing or awesome, you can catch us on Spotify. All you simply have to do is punch in the Feel Good Friday and you will be connected. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram at @BBAmina_worldwide. A great lineup for today, a Women's Month exclusive. And of course, as we chat to Professor Nokuthula Sibiya, who is the Vice Chancellor of Mangosuthu University of Technology, and she will be sharing her brilliance and insights with us. And no, it does not stop there. The second half of the show, we dive into a conversation with, of course, Commissioner of the Public Service Commission of KwaZulu-Natal Province, Yasmin Baccus. Of course, all that and more. You can stay tuned to 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Feely, only on your #1 radio station.
Absolutely. And I think it's about that time where we have to go for our traffic update this particular afternoon. And of course, we are excited for it. And of course, we are indeed ready for it. Your traffic update right now.
Feel Good Friday. Traffic updates. Updates that help you plan your day like a boss.
And of course, on the line, we have Officer Ngwane. Officer Ngwane, tell us what's happening on our roads.
Greetings, everyone. We're looking at our road At the moment, please let me advise drivers, please, you mustn't speed around Durban because there's this heavy wind that is around the Durban. So you might not be able to control your vehicle when you are speeding. We going to M7, going down towards N2 from Belleville, there is a pack of wood that's fell off from the vehicle, moving vehicle. It's on the fast lane. Please, drivers, be alert. N2 northbound, after Hickinson Highway, we've got an accident there. All relevant departments are on scene. Entry is bound before Umlas Road. That means you're coming from Pietermaritzburg to Durban. There is an accident. All relevant departments are on scene. And ongoing roadworks. N2 between Guamashu off-ramp to Mdloti off-ramp, it's still there. Entry between Durban and PMP still there on ongoing roadworks. Please be alert on that one. When you are approaching the defective robot, let's treat it as four-way stop. Whoever comes first is the one who's got the opportunity to move first. Other than that, everything is okay on our road. I'm Warrant Officer Ngwane from Durban Metropolis. I thank you. Let's meet next week.
Good Friday. Traffic updates. Updates that help you plan your day like a boss.
This segment is brought to you by Kenfield Auto, your RMI approved service and repair specialist. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Kenfield Auto.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
Car won't start?
Kenfield Auto.
Noisy brakes?
Kenfield Auto.
Due for a service?
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop to handle them all. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call us on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين. اللهم أعد المسجد الأقصى إلى رحاب المسلمين. اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين. اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود وزلزلهم يا قوي يا عزيز.
Of the day. This is the Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Food, only on your #1 radio station. Tune in to the Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Feely.
It's Friday. Assalamu alaikum. Let's go.
Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on, leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests. Topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Feely.
Well, of course, it's gone exactly 90 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock. And if you've just joined us, it is the Feel Good Friday with myself, BB Amina Phiri. But of course, it's our great honor to introduce a trailblazing leader in the realm of education and beyond, Professor Nokuthula Sibiya, the Vice Chancellor of the Mangosuthu University of Technology, a renowned academic, visionary, and champion of transformation. Of course, Professor Sibiya has dedicated, her illustrious career to shaping minds, pushing boundaries, and empowering communities. With a wealth of experience in academia, research, and leadership, Professor Sibiya has established herself as a beacon of excellence, innovation, and of course, inclusivity. Her groundbreaking work has not only advanced the frontiers of knowledge, but also paved the way for future generations of scholars, thinkers, and change makers. Today, we are privileged to tap into Professor Sibiya's brilliance and insights. Please join me and in extending a warm welcome to the Feel Good Friday to the esteemed Professor Nokuthula Sibiya. Welcome, Prof, to the Feel Good Friday.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Bibi, and good afternoon to your listeners at home. Thank you for having me in your studio.
There's some technical difficulties on our end. Let us check if we can sort that out. But of course, like I did mention, it is the Feel Good Friday on 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. But just to remind you, once again, the show that you're listening to.
This is the Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Phiri, only on your number one radio station. This is the Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Phiri, only on your number one radio station.
As your children get older, it can become difficult to prepare them for grown-up life. And as a parent, you can only guide them in the right direction. Children today are under so much more pressure to perform and need all the help they can get to one day have a successful career. Focus Straight was developed to support cognitive health and brain function for improved memory and concentration during exams and stressful times. Focus Straight, the first formulation of its kind in South Africa, available from all leading pharmacies and Takealot without a prescription.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Phiri.
It's finally Friday again. Assalamu alaikum.
From South Africa to the world.
Let's go.
Out on Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on. Leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests. Topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Let's make the end of the week better together. Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Phiri. Young, fresh, and trending. This is the Feel Good Friday with BB Amina Phiri, only on your number one radio station.
And of course, I think we should try that again. Welcoming to the Feel Good Friday for the very first time, Professor Nokuthula Sibiya. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Bibi, and good afternoon to the listeners at home. Thank you for having me in your studio.
Absolutely. So I think we should get straight into it. I know that you are a very busy person, so let's get straight into it for this particular afternoon. But Prof. Sibiya, as the first female Vice Chancellor of MUT, what does this milestone mean to you, and how do you hope to, inspire future generations of women in leadership?
Baby, I must indicate that it's quite exciting for me to be appointed as the first female vice chancellor and principal of MUT after 45 years of its existence. This year we are celebrating 45 years. It coincides with the time when the country is celebrating Women's Month. So this means a lot to me. I must indicate that there are few women vice chancellors in the country. Out of 26 public universities, I join on the 6 women VCs who are leading the institutions of higher learning in South Africa. So it's quite exciting for me.
Oh, what an achievement. Absolutely wonderful stuff. But now I'm sure, you were anxious prior to the announcement. Now describe the moment, where, the announcement, you were announced as, the Vice Chancellor of MUT. What were the emotions? What emotions did you experience? How did you celebrate this particular achievement?
Bibi, it was quite exciting. My appointment was announced through the MUT radio by the administrator on Thursday, 1st of August, around 1600 hours. These news reached me whilst I was relaxing at home, following an exhausting virtual meetings I attended on this day. So as a religious person, I immediately prayed to thank the Almighty God for affording me this opportunity to lead the university.
Absolutely. So inspirational. Now, I know a lot of young women look up to you, considering the amount of individuals that were so excited for this interaction today. But what advice would you give to women who are, obviously aspiring to break through the glass ceilings in their respective fields? What skills, qualities, or even mindsets do you think are essential?
Being a woman of the 21st century, it's so amazing because of all the things the century has to offer, ranging from modernization, technology, and medical advancement, allow all modern women to be much more intelligent, stronger, self-sufficient, and important than ever before in history. A woman, I want to say a woman is the other half of the whole equation. And the world is finally able to see that during the 21st century. So to inspire young people, I want to say, young girls and women, I want to say when opportunities avail themselves, we must be ready to take up the position. This means we must strive to improve our qualifications and use every opportunity to take up leadership positions so that we could acquire relevant experience and leadership skills.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. But as women, as you know, we go through so many and so much. We wear, multiple hats throughout the day. What are some of the most significant challenges you've faced as a woman in leadership? And how have you navigated them? What support system have you used? What has been crucial to your success?
Baby, it has often been said on numerous occasions that Africa has a patriarchal society. And I want to say institutions of higher learning are no exception to this pattern. I have gone up the ranks in higher education from being the head of department, executive dean, deputy vice chancellor teaching and learning, deputy vice chancellor research, innovation and engagement, acting vice chancellor in the very same institution, and finally appointed as the vice chancellor. I want to say it has not been a very easy journey. I always say South African public universities were made for men, were made by men, for men. So if you get the opportunity to be an executive, you have to put in triple the effort than your male counterpart. This means one has to be resilient, develop a thick skin, and always think on the toes. Otherwise, men will swallow you and prove that you are not fit to lead. This year, Bibi, we are celebrating 30 years into democracy in South Africa. But we still note with concern gender disparity in higher education. Since 1994, there have only been 20 women VCs in the country. Currently, as I indicated, we have 6. 3 are doing their first term and 3 are doing their second term. those that are doing the second term, chances are they may not. Those that are doing second term, first term, chances are they may not. They may not be replaced by women visits. They're likely to be replaced by male visits.
Absolutely. Now, I think that this one might stir the pot a bit, but how do you think, women's leadership styles differ from men's, and what unique strengths do women bring to the table?
People can differ on many fronts. Men can have leadership qualities like compassion.
All right, I think that we have lost Professor Sibiya. And of course, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Sadly lost her. But of course, we're going to try our best to get her a little bit later on. But of course, you're listening to us live on 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Professor Sibiya, I think you can hear us now again. I think we are back.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
I can see you loud and clear now. But, just to, conclude the interview for this particular afternoon, as a trailblazer in your field, what legacy are you hoping to leave behind? And how do you want to be remembered as a leader and educator?
Bibi, I have only I have a 5-year contract as the vice chancellor, and when I leave, I want to be remembered as the first woman VC who brought stability at MUT, a vice chancellor that brought financial sustainability and enhanced academic projects by growing the academic programs and qualification mix at MUT.
Absolutely inspirational. But finally, what is your vision for MUT, and how do you see the university contributing to the empowerment of women and the broader society?
MUT is the only university that is located in a township. So it is strategically located at the heart of Umlazi, so as to benefit the community of Umlazi and students from disadvantaged universities. This we could do by enhancing our partnership with the community of Umlazi. We already have an anchor strategy that we have developed, which aims to empower the community of Umlazi. So my vision is to be a sustainable university delivering transformative, innovative, and socially responsive education that address the needs of the country by offering relevant academic programs.
Absolutely. And I wish you absolute of the best. And thank you so much for joining us and taking up your time to chat to us today about your amazing brilliance. And I wish you all of the best. Take care, Prof.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's only a pleasure. Well, even though we had some technical difficulties, that was a great one. You're listening to us live 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Like we said, it is a Women's Month exclusive. Coming up next, you'll have to find out. Stay tuned.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Aminatulu, only on your #1 radio station. Of the day.
Hey lovely ladies, come join me, Ria Mohammed, at our annual Women's Day event at 189 West Road on the 24th of August at 10 a.m. See you there.
She's the magic in every dish, the love in every white and fluffy grain, the golden thread in every home. She's Mama, the one who trusts Golden Delight Rice to give her family the very best, from 7-color Sundays and simple Friday night bites to generation-old recipes and new creative Golden Delights. It's the one ingredient she can always rely on, and that's why every new favorite of hers is a favorite of ours. Golden Delight Rice, simply perfect.
Into the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Aminatulu.
It's finally Friday again. Assalamu alaikum.
From South Africa to the world.
Let's go.
Don't miss out on Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on and leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests to topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Let's make the end of the week better together. Feel Good Friday with Bibi Aminatulu. Young, fresh and trending. This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Full, only on your number one radio station.
And of course, it is 90.4 FM in Durban, as well as 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. And if you just joined us, yes, it is exactly 34 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock, and it is the Feel Good Friday. But of course, as we commemorate Women's Month, we find ourselves at a critical juncture in the pursuit of gender equality and social justice. Now, the intersection of empowerment, leadership, and anti-corruption efforts presents a complex web of challenges as well as opportunities. And on one hand, women's empowerment has made a tremendous stride in shattering the glass ceilings and amplifying the marginalized voices. Yet, the persistence of patriarchal structures as well as corruption continues to undermine gender parity and perpetuate a systematic inequality. And of course, as we navigate this nuanced landscape, it is essential to examine the ways in which women's leadership can be protected or potent catalyst for anti-corruption efforts. By exploring the synergies between gender empowerment and ethical governance and social accountability, we may uncover innovative solutions and, of course, to the entrenched problems that have had long plague, of course, in our very own beautiful society. But of course, joining me to have this conversation is Commissioner of Public Service Commission of KwaZulu-Natal Province, Yasmin Baccus. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Bibi Amina, and assalamu alaikum to the listeners of Al Ansar.
How are you doing today?
I love that introduction, so that gives me a hype immediately.
Absolutely. Alhamdulillah. But let's get straight into it. Now, Commissioner Baccus, as a woman in leadership or in a leadership position, what message would you like to share with our audience during this Women's Month? And how do you think we can empower women to take on similar roles?
For me, it is the pursuit of excellence. Whatever you do, whichever corner you are, whatever is your passion, pursue it with excellence. And, and I think for me that means a lot. Pursue something honestly and persevere for what you need to achieve. Do not give up. I think, the world is a giving place, but it's also a harsh place. And you have to persevere to find your place in the world and your purpose and execute it with excellence.
Absolutely. Now, how do you think women's perspectives and experiences can contribute to the fight against corruption? And what initiatives has the Public Service Commission implemented to promote gender, equality in this area?
Women in particular, if you just look back in terms of how we are made, we are nurturers. And we are those individuals that develop the value system of society because we raise children with a moral code. We raise children to follow certain values and principles. And so obviously we're already shaping them in the early years in terms of how they're going to fit in society, how law abiding they're going to be, how compliant they are going to be with the rules of society or that of culture, etc. So that's the role of women. And in terms of the Public Service Commission, we are mostly driven by women. And what we do is we do a lot of training on professionalism and professional ethics and discipline management. And what is really lacking is a lot of emphasis and a lot of training amongst public servants in terms of how they uphold integrity and ethics in their work environment.
Absolutely. As the battle cry goes, watinta bafazi, watinta mbogoto.
Zogufa.
Absolutely. If you strike a woman, you indeed strike a rock. But what challenges have you faced as a woman, especially within your career? And how have you overcome them? Like, what advice would you give a woman who is facing similar obstacles?
Look, the career I chose, working in law and safety and security is a male-dominated environment. And often one finds oneself, just one female in a room full of thousands of men, who are equally competent or even higher, position than you are. And you have to then put yourself on the platform and give it your best. And the first thing you've got to do is don't be emotional, just be professional. And I always use this term at home. I say the best revenge is excellence. And so you've got to work doubly hard at convincing them about your abilities. And so working in a male-dominated environment, also being, sometimes the person of a minority race amongst, a lot of people with different racial cultures, etc., backgrounds, means you have to, and I always say this, when you're sitting in a room, don't look at how different you are, but look at how you can find the similarities amongst yourselves. So if you look at a scenario and you say we're all there for the same common purpose and the same goal, then you shed all those barriers and then you were able to just elevate your mind and rise above the occasion. So one of the biggest problems we have in South Africa is that we look for divisions. We look for how we can separate ourselves. We look for barriers between ourselves rather than looking at what unifies us towards a common purpose and goal.
Absolutely. But, how can we encourage more women to pursue careers in fields related to, of course, governance, public service and anti-corruption efforts? And what support systems as well as initiatives are needed to facilitate this?
Well, I think it's very important, to have a mind that's, obviously very geared and passionate about law, about policy, about compliance and that sort of thing. So basically, if you have that and you have a strong sense of justice, you're moving in the right direction. But also one of the things that hinders us, particularly in this country, and I've just come back from a conference in Lithuania where we had the International Anti-Corruption Conference. And, you have a lot of people who exhibit, and I walked through the exhibition stands and I was wondering why we are not considering careers in compliance, in integrity management, in ethics and leadership, whereas so many global universities online are offering this. And we unfortunately tend to stick to mainstream careers and mainstream modules of study, etc. And then we expect some kind of amazing outcome. And it's important for us to be globally aware of what is out there and what is the world demanding right now. So integrity management, leadership, compliance is high on the agenda, and it's not just in government, it's in the private sector as well. So if you pursue a career outside the normal mainstream careers and you go online, because our borders for study have collapsed, we can study in any part of the world at any time. So if girls want to follow this direction, that is where they should be going. They should be looking to online study. They should be looking to overseas universities or even local universities that offer that, because I'm telling you quite clearly the world is gearing up in that direction, and careers in that direction will definitely make you the competent person or the competitor of choice when you do apply for positions.
Absolutely. Now, Commissioner Baccus, let's get a little bit personal. Can you, of course, share any success story or case studies where women have made a significant impact in combating corruption or promoting good governance in KwaZulu-Natal?
Well, look, we have many women. We have, as an example, our current head of Treasury, Carol Kutsia, who's a very strong colleague of mine. We served in the administration together for many years, and she's still there now as the head of Treasury. She's an absolute corruption fighter, a graft buster. And she's that kind of person who's really pursued clean audits for the departments, government departments, etc., and has had a lot of successes. And her department itself is, leading by example. Then we have, the head of the public National Prosecuting Authority, who's ex-KZN, Shamila Batoy. We started our careers together. They were a few years ahead of us, but we're all in the safety and security space. And right now, she's sitting there dealing with major high-profile cases, dealing with corruption, etc., and obviously, using the strength of her prosecuting abilities. Then we have also, if I'm looking in my sector, I'm looking at somebody that most people don't know about, and she's Lieutenant General Frances Bantam, who comes, not surprisingly enough, from my lovely hometown of Ladysmith. Powerful women come from there.
Absolutely.
And so Frances Bantam is the Lieutenant General in the Pietermaritzburg district, and she started off right at the bottom of police ranks, built her way up through absolute professionalism, and is driving the women's agenda right through in the public service. So, in the SAPS in particular. So there are a lot of powerful women out there.
Including you.
Well,
amazing stuff. But how do you think we can address, the intersectionality of, gender and also other social factors such as race and socioeconomic status in our efforts to promote women's empowerment and fight corruption?
Well, the world is beginning to realize that women have the softer skills. And in an organization, you can't always just go by the black and white and by policies, because policies need human bodies to drive it. And human bodies need to have, obviously that warmth and be able to have the people management skills and the compassion that you need in an organization. Because one of the most dominating things in the world, one of the most challenging things that's facing us in the world now is women's mental health and mental health in general. So if you look at how men generally approach mental health in the workplace, you have an answer. And if you look at women approaching mental health in the workplace, you'll see a completely different environment. So it's the ability to have that, that soft skills, the social skills and the psychosocial skills, the nurturing skills that women are naturally born with. We are gifted with that. That actually makes us prosper in an organization, because we are used to conflict resolution. We are used to mediating disputes. There may be some leadership courses and certificate courses, but at the end of the day, we are built with these skills.
Absolutely, built in indeed. But let's shift to a bit more. Let's talk rather a bit more about mentorship and networking. What role do you think mentorship and networking play in supporting women's careers in obviously the public service and the anti-corruption efforts? And how can we obviously foster more of these opportunities?
Look, I think mentorship is something that's really being pushed in government, in particular in the public service. We just have to find the right role models. The mentorship that came through for us, those of us who enjoyed coming into the public sector space after 1994, initially it was very difficult. It was really hard to break through. But once you pushed your professionalism and you continued in terms of obviously upgrading yourself and upskilling, you found that you would find even very good male mentors. So throughout my career, I had very good male political mentors, who saw the ability in me and had confidence in me. And then there were many female mentors as well, who obviously rose up to the top, but also lifted us up and helped us rise as well. So, and I think it is an open space. It is a space that's available. But I have one challenge with mentorship. The mentee must be prepared to really go the extra mile, must be able to take the advice. Advice is only as good as when it's executed and used for your own benefit. Must be able to face your weaknesses. And so when somebody mentors you and they say to you, I think you're being a little bit too cold when you write your letters, or I think you need to warm up to certain things, I think you need to think a little bit broader, then you don't give up and say, no, let me find a more suitable mentor, someone who's more agreeable with me. But you must realize that you're a human being that's developing and you're evolving and you're growing. And so when somebody is telling you that you need to work on this side of yourself, you listen. You listen, you read, you follow. And once that person holds your hand, it's a journey. It's not a destination. I have mentors who have long left the public service, who are now reviewing constitution and things like that, but who still remain my mentors and who are still in contact with me almost weekly. So, mentorship is not something you use just to get a promotion and it ends there. It's a lifelong journey with that person who's going to take you through and who's also going to help you through, if they've already had some terrible experiences, they'll help you navigate it and say, you can avoid this one. So it can make your life much easier as well. And I think it's very important for those of us who have been able to have career progress to be able to mentor younger people. And I don't just mean in the workspace. I mean, even when we are home, share what your experiences are and encourage people even in the home to study, to grow, to develop, to hone into their personal skills and their passions. And, there are any number of examples in our community of women who not necessarily have studied, but who who have just explored their passions in some creative field or the other, and who are flying now.
Absolutely.
Trading internationally.
Absolutely. Now, when we speak about men and women, sometimes it sounds like a us versus them type of thing. So how can we engage men and other stakeholders in the conversation around women's empowerment and the fight, of course, against corruption? And what strategies can we use to build a more inclusive movement?
Honestly speaking, I'm so glad you raised that, because I always say when on Women's Day, it's something I always say. Our fight is not against men. Our attempts or our tries that we make to lift ourselves and empower ourselves is just to find our space in the world, to explore our potential as women to the maximum, and to add value to society and to our communities and to the countries we live in at large. And I think that's what we are striving for. When the understanding of women empowerment is so diverse. Some people think, women just want to have the burning bra attitude approach. They just want to exert their rights and trample on men. Not at all. It's about just being given the space to pursue what you love and do it to the best of your ability. Even if you just love being a mom, to be the best mom possible, and to do it to the best of your ability. And so, the challenges in the anti-corruption space is that women often, when they want to be, for example, whistleblower, and they want to raise the alarm on certain things, men gang up and they say, oh, don't listen to her. She's just being emotional. She's just, being suspicious. Women are just suspicious. And so that's how they keep corruption alive. That's how they keep fraud alive, because they know what they are protecting, and they're putting up these barriers, using us, and naming us and shaming us as emotional human beings. And so it's a hard fight. I'm proud to say that I'm certainly a graft blocker, not just a whistleblower, because I believe it's very important to prevent the corruption before you even get to the point where you even lift the lid on it. Prevention is better than cure. But if you get in it and you obviously see it, you should whistleblow. And we've lost women like Babita Deokaran, whom we're trying very hard to build a whistleblower house for the protection of whistleblowers in society. I mean, that woman lost her life trying to defend the budget, the fiscus of this country. And so women are very brave. There are very brave women out there, women who are prepared to put their life on their line, for the principles and values they believe in. But it should not be like that. It should not be that women become these easy targets. And of course, I have no doubt that the person who shot Babita Deokaran was not a female. So, it's not easy in the space we operate. We live on risk. We get threats regularly. We have to investigate highest government officials, premiers, ministers, MECs, and we must do so without fear, without favor, without prejudice. If you are in this kind of job and you're working for the Public Service Commission and you're carrying the Constitution on your shoulders, you have to get in there and say, this is what I'm being paid for, this is my moral makeup, and this is what I'm going to pursue. And the rest is left in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands.
Absolutely. But, what are some of the key policies or legislative changes that you think are needed to support women's participation in governance and, anti-corruption efforts?
So one of the things we have is the 50 plus target, and that's been there for a while. And I think most public service departments are pursuing more than 50% women in their spaces. But it's not just more than 50% of women so that you can have 50% secretaries sitting there. It's 50% plus in senior management. And that is a policy we definitely support and we brought to the table through our fights throughout the years in the public service space. But also something that we're going to be driving now in the 7th administration is the professionalization framework. And when we say professionalization, we're talking about upskilling, helping those to rise up in the organization. And that means the availability of bursaries also. And then the ability to give more to women to upskill themselves in the organization. So this is something you must look out for. It's been spoken of. It's being driven by the National School of Government, which is kind of, where we chip and mold our public servants coming in now. and then it's being driven by the Department of Public Service and Administration and ourselves as the Public Service Commission. And the professionalization framework speaks to how we can recruit skilled, expert people who are professional enough to come in and drive the agenda of government, but people who are also going to be patriots of the country. We're not going there just to collect a salary and sit there on a desk and frustrate people, because ultimately we are there to deliver services to the people. This is taxpayers' money, and we have to drive the moral consciousness now and revive the moral consciousness of those public servants who are really not geared, who are frustrated, and who don't see their careers going anywhere. The professionalization framework will give renewed hope.
Absolutely. But to conclude the interview for this particular afternoon, finally, what message of hope and inspiration would you like to share with our audience, particularly the women and girls who are tuning in, of course, as we celebrate Women's Month and look ahead to the future?
You know, I always start with a very simple thing. There are millions of theories you can read about what we should be doing for women or ourselves. But if you just start with belief in yourself and have confidence in your abilities, and don't be apologetic about showing it. You know, the other day I was at the SAPS Durban North, and one of the officers said, well, I won't sit at the head of the table. Let me just go and sit on the side. And I said, why? Claim your space. You're the program director. Please sit in the main chair. And she was so shocked. She was like, no, but I'm just a sergeant. And I was like, no, you're the program director. You're the chief of this day's event. So please take your space. So don't be apologetic about being confident. Persevere, persevere, persevere. Always consider upskilling yourself in whatever way possible. And you will realize your dreams, and have faith in yourself, and make people around you have faith in your abilities as well. Don't be apologetic at all.
Powerful words just to end this interview for this particular afternoon. Commissioner Baccus, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm hoping that we can get you on again. I know in your busy schedule, but hoping we can get you on again. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Shukran, Bebe Amina, and thank you to the listeners.
Only a pleasure. Of course, you're listening to us live on 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Let's go for a short ad break, and inshallah, when we come back, we are going to be wrapping up.
This is the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Pool, only on your #1 radio station. Into the Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Pool.
It's finally Friday again. Assalamu alaikum.
From South Africa to the world.
Let's go.
Out on Friday afternoon vibes like no other. Put it on. Leave it on. Join us for inspiration and positivity from trailblazing guests. Topics you want to hear. Your Friday just got better. Let's make the end of the week better together. Feel Good Friday with Bibi Amina Feely. Young, fresh and trending.
Transform your lifestyle with Fideli, the ultimate destination for healthy choices. Visit our stores in Cowie Park and Pavilion in Durban and Greenpoint, Cape Town. Dive into a world of fresh, nutritious delights, from vibrant produce to guilt-free snacks. At Fideli, we're more than just a store. We're your partner in wellness. Elevate your health journey today. Fideli, where good taste meets good health. Fideli, healthy living, wellness journey.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
J. Junaid Jamshed brings you the Freedom Sale. Enjoy up to 50% off on all items from 14th August at 222 Felix Lamini Road, Overport. Visit our stores or shop online at ca.junaidjamshed.com.
And of course, it's 90.4 FM in Durban and 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We have come to the end of yet another amazing edition of the Feel Good Friday. Of course, while the excitement does not leave us, next week, of course, next show is not to be missed, as we have some of our best right here in studio that are going to be joining us as we close the curtains to Women's Month. And we can call it the grand finale. And speaking of a grand finale, as we know it, it's been 12 awesome years of being permanent on your airwaves. And so there will be an event, a reunion, a special one. And of course, you are invited to join us right here at 207 West Road, and Friday night 7 p.m. There's going to be a live audience and of course a live show. So it's a date. Let's meet up the 30th of August, 7 p.m. Free entry. Everyone is welcome. And the best of all is that you stand a chance to win great prizes. Find out more, and of course we would love to join you. But of course, we've come to the end of yet another amazing edition of the Feel Good Friday. If you listen, you will learn. Of course, if you do not listen, you will not learn. For myself and the team, I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What you missed on the breakfast rush with Nishal Sarawan? Here's a quick catch-up.
The game works quite easily. All you do is answer 5 general knowledge questions. With each correct answer, you get a chance to flip it. On the flip side, there's a prize, or maybe not. Let's go to question number 2. How many times can you fold a paper in half?
7.
7 times. Correct. Choose a square and
flip it.
Exclusive to the Breakfast Rush on Radio Al Ansar.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سواه إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ما لنا رب سواه ربنا رب القلوب وهو علام الغيوب في الشروق وفي الغروب نوره يهدي العصا ربنا رب القلوب وهو علام الغيوب في الشروق وفي الغروب نوره يهدي العصا ربنا الهادي الودود فضله ملء الوجود عفوه خير وجود فارتجي دوما رضا ربنا الهادي الودود فضله ملء الوجود